Hey, welcome everyone to Wizards Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here, Cardell Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpey Jr. The Washington Wizards just completed the first of 82 games. Again, they started the season off on the road as they have their second game Friday night at Dallas tonight. If you guys tuned in earlier for a little pregame, and we have Cardell. We'll start with you after the small discussion we had during pregame. And then, the game started. We got to see how things turned out. Before you get going, though, just wanted to I wanted to get this out the way. I'm going to try to do this season. When things happen and people hit, any milestones or anything, share from the PR staff that we say at the beginning, because there's times that happened last year where I forgot. And, 2 days later, I brought it up. So I'm going to try to do better. Per Wizards PR, Wizards guard Trey Johnson scored 16 points so far in tonight's contest. He ended with 16. He became the first Wizards rookie to score 15 or more points in the NBA debut since this is a name people haven't heard in quite a while. Googs, since Tom Gugliotta, November 6, 1992 at Charlotte. So I just wanted to share that. Cardell, though, after our nice little chat pregame, then we saw how the game turned out. I have a feeling I know where you're going to start, but the Wizards, as we saw Giannis power his team past the Wizards 133 to 120.
That first quarter was insane. It was just a carryover from what we've seen the past few years defensively, especially last season. What did we always say? If the Wizards give up a 40-point quarter, it's automatically in there. And we starting right off this season with that same type of theory. That first quarter was insane, man. Points in the paint, 14. Kevin Porter Jr. had his way, 10 points, 3 of 5. AJ Green was bombing away. He was 3 of 3 from deep in that first quarter. I'm just talking about from the first quarter. At one point, the Bucks were shooting 70, 70, and 100 late in the first quarter. They finished shooting 60% from the field, 61% from deep, and 100% from the free throw line. That was just like the Wizards couldn't get a stop to save their life. They battled back, got into the game, got some momentum in the second quarter. In the third quarter, they woke up, led by Cam Whitmore, Chris Middleton, and Bub Carrington. Carrington had 9 in the third. Chris Middleton had 9 in the third, and Cam Whitmore came off the bench and he had 8, and that kind of got them right back in the game. Even there early in the fourth, they were down with 9. I believe that's the closest they got. They were down 9, so it was a game where they had to fight back, but then they ran out of energy. And Giannis came back in the game and put them out their misery. That's pretty much how the game went. That first quarter was too big of a hole to just try to climb out of, man. Like, you can't give up that much, man. And this is the first game of the season where the Bucks are trying to find their primary ball handler. Kevin Porter got the nod tonight, rightfully so. He did a good job last year. Once he got re-signed or whatnot, and they're trying to figure some things out. And you still allowed a 40-point quarter. I just think, and coming in against the Bucks team with Giannis on, it's gonna be physical. That's his game. They didn't match any physicality, and then when they didn't match the physicality, it led to the pace that the Bucks wanted to play at. And it was helter-skelter, and the Wizards was just all over the place until they settled down, man. And then that's what you got. Another thing, points in the paint, 60 points in the paint for the Bucks. 60 of the 133 points were in the paint. You got to be more resistance inside. Man, we talked about that in the pregame. Like, the front court has to show up. If they don't, they're going to lose. Now, the wings showed up. Middleton had 23. Keyshawn George balled. He had 21, 9, and 4. Alex Sarr had the double-double, man, but that wasn't enough. 10 points and 11 rebounds, yes. 10 points, you need about 15, 20 plus. Because Giannis almost had 40. So you need that, especially with Vuk only playing 1 minute. Marvin Bagley didn't give you anything. Really the only big that produced tonight. And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But they drafted you second for a reason. You know what I mean? So they expected you to be able to carry that load inside. Maybe not at a Giannis level, but at a level where it could put them in a position to have a better chance to win this game. And that just wasn't the case, man. So CJ McCollum didn't have a good game. He was off 9.6 rebounds. But all in all, man, they couldn't do nothing with Giannis. We finished with 37, 14, 5, and 16 to 26 from the field. And to make matters worse, he only took 7 free throw attempts. That just tells you there was no resistance, man. That he didn't even need to get to the free throw line to almost get that 40. He got 37. That was just straight dunks, driving past cats, nobody rotating over. He just punching on people or offensive rebound. There was a play. This is the play that I was trying to find it. I couldn't get it to you. There was a play where he was in the corner. I forgot who drove. They missed, and Chris Middleton was right underneath the basket, and Giannis went right in that zone, got the offensive rebound, and powered up over Middleton, scored, and Middleton knocked him to the ground. I'm like, Middleton, come on, man. Like, he was literally underneath the basket, and Giannis ran from the corner and got the board over him. And that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, they're not ready to play. You know what I mean? And it showed. Now, they show hard. Bub and them got going in the third, but, when you got to fight that hard in the quarters just to get back in the game, it's going to be tough when they try to bring their killers in midway through the fourth to try to close out the game. You ain't going to have enough energy, and that's what happened, man. So, again, the Wizards got some things to go over, obviously, some questions to answer, because this is the defensively, man, it was just a continuation of what we saw last year.
Right, your thought on their opening game of the season on the road.
Yeah, that first 12 minutes did them in. You can't have a stretch like that at any point in the game. Cardell brought up that magic number, 40-point quarter. Whenever that quarter happens, it decides the game for the Wizards. Just frankly, and this is no disrespect to them, they're just not talented enough or experienced enough to overcome that at this point. Especially with somebody like Giannis on the other end. Like you said, when they fought back late and it was made a game of it, but Giannis got back in, and even they said on the broadcast he was in kill mode and he was just getting it over with, and that's exactly what he did. And yeah, no, he didn't feel anything. Like, it was like he was just going through the motions, getting the ball, spinning off people, dunking, pump fake, drive, dunk. Just he was just going through his pregame routine out there, man. But yeah, they Wizards need to figure out something on the interior. They got a lot of depth at the wing in the show tonight, but yeah, it's a team getting 60 points in the paint that you won't have to do a lot from the other positions to overcome that, and it just makes life hard for you. But yeah, I love the fight. I love Whitmore's aggression. But yeah, you need more of a total effort than that to continue to be competitive. So yeah, man, it's just game one, but this has been a thing over the last few years. No matter what iteration this team has been out there, and something's got to change at some point. They got a little more talent, but they're still very young. Middleton, he put in a good game. Yeah, McCollum had an off night, but he's a veteran. We know what he's capable of. But yeah, they got to figure some things out, man. Yeah, Giannis only taking 7 free throws. Like, if he abusing you like that on the inside, you gotta do something. If anything, just make him earn it instead of just giving up dunks. But like I said, man, not gonna get my blood pressure up too much over the opening night. But yeah, if things continue to go like this, then it's gonna be another long season. But they can't have those quarters or those stretches where the team just blasts them and they don't respond at all. Like 9-0 run, 10-0 run, something like that. Call the timeout, get your bearings back, and then kind of stop the bleeding. All right, cool. But to have that type of quarter, especially off the break, that's just too much to overcome. and then you got to claw and scratch your way back into it. And by the time you've done that, you're spent. And then they just come in and nudge you off the ledge. So you're getting out the blocks a little faster than just being a little more physical on the inside, and we might start to see them kind of stack up some wins.
Yeah, as you guys said, this is only the first one, but get to find out quick just how quickly they can respond because you're going to be playing Dallas on Friday, regardless of how Dallas's game goes tonight. Going to take a wild guess and feel like points in the paint. It's probably going to be a thing that Dallas is going to focus on. So if you're Washington, got to learn how to. What happened tonight in terms of how many points in the paint? That just can't happen. The other thing that happens is like you guys said, the nights where when those you're playing teams, they have the all-world players in the front court. You can't lose the minutes when they're off the court. So like tonight in the non-Giannis minutes, the Bucks were +3. That can't happen along with Giannis having almost going for 40. So they're +10 with him doing his thing, +3 with them off. They need to be -16 or something with him off. Like you need to own those minutes just to survive a game like this. But again, it was one game. But all that I felt watching that first quarter, like Cardell, you said 70. That was stuck in my head too. 70, 70, 100. There's a couple numbers from the last couple of seasons where certain nights those numbers are ingrained. I know I could pull off the damn near 90 points in the paint the Nuggets had. Ray, remember that one? West Coast trip. There's certain numbers that it takes you right back. I hope we don't see that again. Just like I know there was a game last year. It was like +30 on the boards. It was a game I forgot where they're playing. It was just like, it just instantly brings you back to. I can almost remember what hoodie I had on. You just don't want to remember that. But again, on one, you got Dallas on Friday. But for you guys, I think we know the answer. It's up on the screen. I'm just, hey, this doesn't change.
Freak, man. Greek freak.
Yeah. All right. Maybe more difficult for you guys, X Factor.
Gary Trent. I'm going to go with him. I feel like he had a hell of a game. 17-4. That +3 you just mentioned, I think he had a big part in that. When Giannis wasn't on the floor, he kind of carried the offense, man. 6-12, 5-11. Didn't force anything. He just took what was there. You know what I mean? And, that's basically what the Bucks did all night. And the Wizards didn't make any adjustment. They tried to shrink the floor to deal with Giannis in that first quarter, but then they didn't get back out on the shooters. And then when the shooters was hitting shots, what should I do, coach? Then Giannis there's nothing you can do, man. He just started dunking on everybody, man. So it got ugly. You know what I'm saying? So, but they got too many good athletes where they can't dig down and get back out to the shooters, man. You just gonna have to be tired if you want to win. Be tired of shit. It's what it is, man.
I mean, to that point, sorry, Ray, and then I want to get your X factors. To that point, when they were making that run, they were covering ground defensively. Like they started that third quarter, they were getting stops. Like I want to say Milwaukee went like the first 4 possessions of the third quarter without a bucket, and that was Giannis attacking. Still, they were digging down and getting back out. Like you said, you saw about the plus athletes they have, and that's great. But you start the game with that level of activity, because I think it was in the first quarter. I think AJ Green hit a couple threes. And after he hit a couple, I swear, it felt like nobody missed, which was evident. But that 70, 100 credit was something about. But right, X factor for you.
Yeah, definitely a crowded field, but I go with Trent as well. Second leading scorer, and yeah, you brought up the non-Giannis minutes. He definitely filled in the gap when he was off the floor to kind of hold the Wizards at bay. So yeah, he'll get the nod from me tonight.
All right, and again, up next for them, they're in Dallas. So, again, that's AD, young fella, in a flag, whatnot. But if you're Dallas, seeing what Milwaukee got in the paint tonight, maybe Washington got to. First off, no 40-point quarters. Please, no repeat performance of that. But go ahead, Cardell.
I just wanted. I wanted to see the big run. At 7:29, the Bucks were up 21-7 with 7:29 left in the first quarter. Then they built it up. The Wizards kind of got back into it at the 6-minute mark. They was down 11, 25-14. Then they hit up with another run. Got that thing up to 33-14 at the 3:38 mark. And then they were just exchanging baskets to the point, to the very end. And then the Bucks scored 40 with a minute 33 left in the first quarter. Like, come on, man. Like, they know they can't do that. But like I said, you said in the third quarter they started swarming, but they faded because when you got to play super hard, like give everything you got, and then you don't have no room for defense, offense. You're going and you trying to close the gap, but it's hard to overcome that against a good team, especially with one with a superstar with all world play on the other side. No, that's just too much to overcome in one quarter, man. You know what I'm saying? So you can't you can't be in a hole like that, man. Like nobody can. Like the only team recent memory that can come out that type of hole, the Warriors teams with KD. They can play around like that and then give them a 50-point quarter in the next quarter, and you be like, God damn, dog. Like that's it. That's the only team that can play games like that. Everybody else, you can't play like that. I don't care how talented you are. You're gonna get the hell beat out of you.
And they can only do that because they had several nuclear weapons over there from a shooting standpoint. Like again, like you said, that's the one. They just can't start games like that. Again, they got Dallas on Friday, and then they open against Charlotte. Their home opener is Sunday against Charlotte, and they're again. Then I think they play Tuesday night. Like, man, it's gonna get going quick. You got the Sixers on Tuesday.
But even before that, I was watching a little bit of the Dallas and Spurs game before we got on. You know what I mean? You got to deal with Lively, Gafford, Anthony Davis, and Flag. Like they don't get much easier, dog. Like that's nasty. And Jason Kidd, evil with their versatility. Like he had Coop starting at the damn point guard. Then you got Najee, who's tough as hell. All those guys like on the wings and stuff like that. Clay capable, like still can hit. Like, come on, man. You got to bring the defense. And for me, it's just a mentality, man. It's like, dog, how long y'all just gonna take? And that's why I show love to Bub and Whitmore, even Middleton, because even during that stretch where they was blowing the doors open, the Bucks were. He was in there fighting, man. He was trying to take charges on Giannis and stuff like that. Like he was in there battling, man. But it wasn't enough. He needed everybody else to join him. And I give Cam and Bub respect. That third quarter, they came out like, yo, we ain't going out like this, dog. They can't. That you could tell that was just their mentality. Like the hell with it. I'm not leaving no bullets in the clip. What's the point? But come out like that in the first quarter, the opening tip. Come on like that from the opening tip, man. Why you gotta get knocked to the mat to get up and fight? And you know what this dude is on. He been doing it to the Wizards since he came in the league, since he became Giannis. Since he became Greek Freak, he been doing this to the Wizards, man. So I don't know, bro. It's just sometimes, man, mentality just leaves me confused. You dealing with somebody that's what they're coming in to do, man. So you got to match that. It's just like it's gonna be a war, dog. Like we both gonna be fucked up. Like that's just how I gotta be. But I'm gonna do what I gotta do to put my team in the best position to win. And until the Wizards as a whole get that mentality, we're gonna see situations like this, man. But they just up and down throughout the game.
Yeah, and to both of you guys' points earlier, digging out of holes in professional sports, I don't care what sport it is, you get down by too much. It's like the little cartoons where there's holes in the boat. They keep plugging them, but the holes keep popping up. Like, think about during that run. I think the third quarter, they made ground. Then Giannis comes back in.
I'm going to look it up now. Go ahead. I'm going to look it up.
But, yeah, man, it's
Yeah, they was down 72-56 with 10:40, and this the third quarter. Bub hit a jump, and they down 72-56. They down 16. Hit another bucket, down 14. Another bucket, down 12. They down 12. Then they down 13 because I think Rollins hit a 3. So this 83-70. They got it to within 10. Then they got it within they got it within 7 with 7:58 left. Alex R hit a finger roll. They were down 74-67. They back in the game. And then on 7, I'm trying to figure out when Giannis checked back in. Yeah, Giannis checked back in right after that. And from that moment on, that thing they held steady. That's what I'm saying. They held steady. Then all of a sudden, they subbed out. No, this is where it changed. They subbed out CJ and Carrington, and they put Keyshawn and Kispert in, and then that's when the Bucks started slowly building that lead back up to double digits and stuff like that, man. And by the end of the fourth, it was 11, 101-90, and then we all know what happened in the fourth. Giannis just took over, scored 14 in the fourth. But that tells you could play with them because you got right back in the game when you was down big. If you'd have just that first quarter with that same energy applied in the first quarter, and then the wild part is if you apply not even 100% of energy you brought in the third, bring like 60 and 70 in the first quarter, you're not in that big of a hole where you need to go 100% in the third. It's all connected, man. Like it's not that hard, dog. So yeah, and I think they playing the team on Thursday got even more firepower. So you definitely can't afford to do that then. And Jason Kidd crazy. He'll try any man. He might have AD at point. You know, like you feel what I'm saying? Come on, dog. Lively out there, man.
There's no leaving what's it called? I don't care what's going on in Clay's life, bro. Like, there's no leaving Clay open for a couple, like giving him a couple wide open shots. We've seen that turn into memorable nights just because you left them open. Like, don't let that be that, man. Just please, like, not that, not digging down and closing out late to one of the best shooters ever, man. I don't need that. I don't want to see any of that stress. I think there was another stat that you brought up. I think you said before we started, and I thought that was interesting. So the turnovers, they weren't able to capitalize off of nearly any of Milwaukee's turnovers.
Well, Milwaukee only had 8, but the Wizards only scored 1 point off of Milwaukee's 8 turnovers. That's unheard of in a 48-minute game. That's unheard of. But that goes to show you what I'm saying. There was no resistance. You didn't turn them over, and then the rare time you did, you couldn't even score on them. And you were trying to push the pace, which tells you they were getting back like it just tells you what it was. They was on point defensively. You see what I'm saying? So, and the Wizards were intimidated. Let's just call it what it is. And it wasn't just Giannis. You know, Miles Turner drove baseline, had that dunk and stuff like that, man. It ain't even about blocking shots either. What about the countless shots they probably altered being around? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, they it's a mentality, man. And everybody on the team just have to draw a line and saying, like, all right, we're going to cut all this shit out, dog. No more 40-point quarters. They're not about to bully us no more. I don't care, man. I don't care. Bub at the 5. We just got all guards out there. We gonna be some tough. Like you got to fight back at some point, man. Like when you play the Bucks, you don't want to see the nonsense in the game. That tells you what happened.
Pretty much.
Either you getting blown out or they getting blown out.
It's an ass whooping on either. It's something going on. It ain't a close game. No disrespect, but
right. Something went wrong for somebody if he's in the game. That's exactly what it is. But again, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit the comment section, and we'll see you guys Friday night for both pregame and here in postgame at Wizards Outlook. For Ray Carter and myself, y'all have a great evening.